Coronation Street has aired a concerning scene regarding Cassie's whereabouts following her sudden departure this week. It came after Monday's episode saw the character decide to leave Weatherfield for a fresh start as a cruise ship cleaner after several residents, including her son Tyrone Dobbs, washed their hands of her following Tracy Barlow's accidental spiking incident. After saying her goodbyes to Fizz and her grandkids, Cassie accepted a ride from Ross to the train station, which was witnessed by her boyfriend, Steve McDonald. While in the car, she got Ross to confess to giving the spiked smoothie, which Cassie intended for him, to Tracy instead to get rid of her. After a few verbal altercations, Ross locked Cassie in the car and drove away with her. In tonight's, August 6th, episode, it was Ross's first day at his new prison job. Tyrone quizzed him about his nerves at the breakfast table. After a brief chat about his previous experiences working in prisons, Ruby piped in to mention how she missed Cassie, to which Fizz responded, "We're all missing Granny Cass, love." Later on, Ross, Tracy, Tyrone, and Fizz caught up at the Rovers and chatted about Ross's first day. Fizz had previously made it clear to Ross that she is aware that Cassie had gotten into his car after overhearing his confession to Steve. However, she still had her guard up as when he joined her at the bar, she had a ton of questions for him about their car ride. She asked him where he dropped her off, to which he responded that it was Piccadilly Station. When Fizz continued to quiz him further, he challenged her queries, which led her to reveal that they'd not heard anything from Cassie, adding that she thought it was weird. However, Ross attempted to reassure her that Cassie's radio silence was completely in character, as he said, "From what I can make out, that's her all over." While she appeared to be convinced to Ross, at home, Fizz still had her convictions as she attempted to call Cassie's phone, only for it to go straight to voicemail. During her previous confrontation, Fizz had warned Ross that if she found out that he'd stepped another foot out of line, then he'd be out. Will Fizz attempt to further find out the truth of Cassie's sudden exit, and what will Tyrone think of her growing distrust in his dad? Coronation Street has delivered another emotional twist for Cassie Plummer, with worrying scenes leaving viewers questioning what her sudden exit could really mean. Cassie's storyline has taken a dramatic turn, and the latest episode appeared to leave the door open for even more heartbreak. After everything she has endured on the cobbles, her future now looks increasingly uncertain, with the character facing a situation that could change everything. For fans who have followed Cassie's troubled journey, the latest developments were particularly difficult to watch. Her recent struggles have already placed enormous pressure on her relationships, while her attempts to get her life back on track have repeatedly been complicated by events beyond her control. But just as viewers expected the storyline to settle down, Coronation Street delivered another worrying development. The scenes surrounding Cassie's departure were deliberately emotional, creating the impression that this may not simply be a temporary break for the character. Instead, the episode left viewers wondering whether Cassie's story has reached a much darker conclusion. Cassie's worrying final moments. Cassie has never had an easy time since arriving on the cobbles. Her complicated past and difficult relationships have repeatedly caused problems, and she has struggled to escape the mistakes that have followed her. The latest scenes once again highlighted just how vulnerable she can be. Rather than giving fans a reassuring conclusion, the episode focused on the uncertainty surrounding Cassie's next move. Her situation appeared increasingly fragile, with the character seemingly unable to find the stability she desperately needs. That uncertainty made her exit even more unsettling. Soap exits can often be emotional, but Corey has a long history of using departures to create questions that are answered much later. Cassie's latest scenes certainly fit that pattern. Instead of tying up every loose end, the show left several questions hanging. Where is Cassie really heading? Will she return to Weatherfield? And could there be another twist waiting for her? Fans fear Cassie's story isn't over. The sudden nature of Cassie's exit has naturally led to speculation among viewers. Some fans may see the departure as the end of an important chapter, while others could interpret the worrying scenes as evidence that there is still more to come. That is one of the strengths of a soap storyline. A character can disappear from the screen while their story continues to affect the people around them. Cassie has developed connections across Weatherfield, meaning her absence could have consequences even if she remains off-screen. Her departure could also force other characters to confront difficult truths about the events that have taken place. And there is another possibility. Cassie could eventually return. Soap fans know that a departure does not always mean goodbye forever. Characters can leave the cobbles only to reappear months or even years later when the right storyline comes along. That possibility makes Cassie's exit particularly intriguing. A future return could bring another shock. If Cassie were to return to Weatherfield, she could potentially come back as a very different person. The character has experienced enough turmoil to leave her changed, and a future comeback could allow the writers to explore the consequences of everything she has been through. A return could also create explosive confrontations with people from her past. Imagine Cassie arriving back on the street with secrets that nobody knows about. Or perhaps she could return with new information that completely changes how viewers understand her exit. For now, those possibilities remain speculation, but Coronation Street has certainly given fans enough material to keep asking questions. The worrying tone of the latest episode has made it difficult to view Cassie's departure as a simple goodbye. Weatherfield won't forget Cassie. Whatever happens next, Cassie's time on the cobbles has left an impression. Her complicated personality, difficult history, and emotional struggles have made her a character capable of creating drama simply by being at the center of a storyline. Her sudden exit therefore creates a noticeable gap. For the characters she leaves behind, there may be unanswered questions and unresolved feelings. For viewers, there is the bigger question of whether the story has genuinely ended. The episode's final developments certainly did not provide the comfortable closure some fans might have expected. Instead, Coronation Street appears to have chosen uncertainty. And that could be very deliberate. With soaps, the most worrying endings are often the ones that refuse to give viewers all the answers. Cassie may be gone for now, but her story could still have one final twist waiting. As fans continue to discuss the scenes and speculate about what her exit means, one thing is clear: Cassie's departure has left behind more questions than answers. And if Coronation Street is planning a surprise return, viewers could eventually discover that this was not Cassie's ending at all, merely the beginning of another chapter. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Crown ST.